Well, today I just want to share with you about some things that I just don't spend that much money on anymore. I guess I've just found that over the years I've found ways to economize a little bit. I've been through some times of having to stretch to make the ends meet, and a lot of other things that my priorities have shifted. They're just not that important to me anymore, and so I save money on a lot of other things. So anyway, let's get started. One thing that I don't have to spend money on now is rent. And I hope that everybody can get to the point where they own their own house if they want to. But I'm blessed by that. I was able to save up a little bit of money and put it down on a house that was very inexpensive, a fixer-upper in pretty bad shape. That's why you don't see me recording all over the house like some people do. We're still fixing it up because it was a rental for a long time. But I just feel so blessed that I can have my own house and I'm not having to pay rent anymore. So that is one thing. Another thing, just a small thing, but I think it's important, is that I don't spend a lot of money on jewelry anymore because I started making my own jewelry, and so I just mostly wear the stuff that I make. I make things out of silver-plated wire and semi-precious stones and stuff. Yeah, you can see these earrings I've got here. And I make it and sell it, make a little money from that, and save money. And then I can make things the way I want. So that's another thing I don't waste money on anymore. And another thing, I guess kind of related to that, would be that I don't waste money on expensive brands of makeup. I just buy my makeup at the grocery store, and I don't wear very much, and I probably don't put it on right, but it works for me anyway. And another thing that goes with that I really don't spend a lot of money on anymore is hair and skincare products, because I've started buying most of my stuff, pretty much all of it, from friends of mine who operate micro businesses, small businesses, and they make their own products, skincare products and hair care products. And I found that the quality is just wonderful. And you know that a lot of the money that you spend on stuff like that, you're really paying for the brand names and the advertising and the packaging and all, and the transportation. And I found that buying things that have been made by local people, I save money, I help them out, and also I get a better product because it doesn't have all the chemicals and preservatives in it, and I get great results. Now, another thing that I just really don't spend a lot of money on, hardly anything, is that we don't take big vacations and travel and spend days and weeks off somewhere. But instead, what we do rest and we do take time off. We take short day trips or maybe an overnight, but mostly just for a day, and we'll go to a lake or we'll go to someplace scenic and just enjoy ourselves. And I think I found really that sometimes when you take these long vacations, it's actually more stressful, and you end up having to rest after you get home from your vacation, and the stress of spending all that money too. So I like the way we've been doing it. And another thing that I really don't spend much money on, really hardly anything, is the decor in my house. I do have items in my house for decorating. I'm not cluttery, but I do have some things. But I tend to get pretty much everything from people that I've known. See, being an expat in a foreign country, I live in Guatemala, and a lot of times we have a lot of people come here who are expats and mostly missionaries, and they're here for a while, sometimes a few years, and they leave, and when they go, they usually leave most of their stuff behind. And so what I really like to do is make sure that when somebody leaves that's been a friend, I try to get something that I can keep in my house that reminds me of them. And so as a result, I really don't mind dusting my house, because when I go through and handle all these things that remind me of people that have had a special place in my life, it's just really a pleasant way to have good memories of people. Now, another thing that I just really don't spend money on, really at all, is a lot of medicine, drugstore or prescription medicine. I really don't buy that. I haven't needed anything just for myself. I can't remember the last time really that I've taken actual medication, and I'm going to have to make another video about this to go into a little bit more detail, but because of my diet and my lifestyle, I stay really healthy, and I also trust God to keep me healthy, but I haven't had to do anything. We do use a lot of essential oils and teas and things like that, but I'll go into more detail about that in another video. But I really just don't have to spend on medications, and I know that for a lot of people that can be pretty big, so I'm grateful that I don't have to spend on that. And another thing that I really don't waste much money on is going to restaurants, fancy restaurants, and spending a lot of money on fancy meals. We do go out occasionally, but really not very much because we eat really well at home. But every once in a while it's nice to go out, and I don't really like fast food. There's only maybe a place or two I can think of something fast food that I would eat, but we do have a lot of little restaurants and small cafes and places like that. In fact, there are so many of them in town that not going very often. I don't think I would ever have to repeat, just try something new. But I like going to those places and supporting small business people. And it's just good food, good memories, nice way to spend a little time, but only once in a while. And another thing that I just don't spend money on is getting haircuts. I haven't had a professional haircut in years. I can't even remember the last time I did, but it was hair here, my layers and everything. I cut it myself. It takes me 5 minutes, do it every couple of months to trim it up a little bit, and I'm good to go. And last of all, I don't waste money going to a gym to work out. Now, I do exercise, but I found that really I'm more motivated to exercise if I do it at home. Now, a lot of people, I understand, need to go to the gym, and I am all for that. Nothing against that. But I'm a little bit of an introvert anyway, so I've come up with some ideas of ways to exercise, and yeah, I can share that with you in a video here if you want to take a look. But you can do that at home, stay in shape, and not have to get in the car and travel. So anyway, those are some of the ways I've come up with to be able to save a little bit of money in a lot of ways, save time too. And really, I just want to remind you that we were designed to be creative. And I think that's why we can be so resourceful, because sometimes when we need to, we can find ways to get things done and make our lives good without having to spend a whole lot of money. And I'll bet you've got some ideas that I haven't even come up with. So I'd love to hear some of your ideas. And really, if you haven't become part of this community yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and leave comments, because that's the fun part with YouTube. You know, YouTube doesn't have to be a one-way street anymore. It's nice to be able to interact a little bit. So anyway, I'm glad you could be with me on this video, and thanks for sticking with me till the end. And really, if you're going to be leaving comments, then I can say that I'll see you in the next video. See you there.